Ooh, I don't need y'all either. Ooh, don't wanna talk about it. Ooh, like I don't know nobody. Like I don't know nobody. I guess I don't. Oh, you mad, huh? Oh, you mad, huh? Whoa, oh, you mad, huh? Uh-oh, she gon' be mad.
This is Michael Azarad, editor-in-chief of the Talkhouse.
And welcome to the Talkhouse Music Podcast.
You might think that Chicago rapper Vic Mensa and Samuel Herring, the frontman at Baltimore synth-pop band Future Islands, don't have much in common. But you'd be wrong. And it's not because Mensa is a fan of the Beatles and Nirvana, or that he recently recorded a track with Skrillex, or that during this interview, he was sporting a Bad Brains t-shirt. And it's not because Herring has been a hip-hop fan since he was a kid, and is about to drop a very cool hip-hop EP he recorded with Stone's Throw producer Madlib under the name Trouble Knows Me. No, it's because Mensa and Herring are both musicians, and they enjoy each other's work. So these guys, who had barely met before, hit it off right away when they sat down at the Talkhouse Music microphones. The first thing they bonded on was their previous lives in crime, and then they bonded on their lives in music. And then they bonded on their common experience of living in America. It was a pretty interesting and funny conversation, recorded backstage at the 2015 Pitchfork Music Festival. And here it is.
What's up, Vic?
Yo, what up, bro?
It's good to see you, man.
Well, it's nice to see you too, man. I have to put my glasses on.
Oh, you get your
Now you gotta put yours on.
Okay,
and
cool,
shit.
man.
I just got these. My homie sent them to me.
That's nice. I guess my homie sent me these too.
Man, that's the life, man. What is it about like having more stuff where you get more stuff for free?
Well, the messed up thing is that when we didn't have nothing, they didn't give us
Nobody
nothing.
gave anybody shit. Like,
I know that's a saying, but it's
nobody's
really
giving me
true.
shit.
Yeah, it's like,
Definitely.
no. I have like 10 of these now. Like, I actually don't need them anymore because you keep
Right.
giving them to me.
Yeah,
I remember when
I used to steal sunglasses. When I used to
yeah?
go to Sunglasses Hut, and like that was the thing. I would steal Ray-Bans and like tuck them and then like run out the mall and shit. Like
Shit, man, I remember stealing tuna fish sandwiches.
that's popping. I probably stole like a turkey sandwich or like a club sandwich before.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that was a bad move. That's one of the last things I stole. I used to have a bad stealing problem when I was a kid.
Yo, I was really into stealing, and then
Yeah.
like I stopped stealing as much. I still steal shit to this day, like from like Walgreens and shit.
Don't
Sometimes.
say that on tape, man.
Fuck
Not a
Walgreens. One time, the nigga from Walgreens, man, like I was just like going too far, man, and I was always standing out. I had like big hair and like always flashy clothes and shit. So I was in Walgreens, and I went to the back and stole like some dumb shit, like a water bottle. Like I stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're like,
And,
I
and
don't need this.
And a pack of. It was a water bottle and a pack of gum. I'm telling you about the
Yeah.
croissant too. I stole those two things. So I just, ever since 5th grade, I was just stealing mad shit. So this was like when I'm like 16, and I tried to walk out of Walgreens downtown, and the fucking gigantic like, like Rob and Big.
Yeah.
Look
Those
like
guys.
him and shit.
Yeah,
This
that-
dude stepped in front of the door. He was
Just
like,
blocked the whole damn
and
door.
just put his motherfucking hand out and shit. And then I'm just like, oh, go crazy. And he
man.
he took me downstairs, bro. In this like, he took me downstairs in this like iron locked room.
Oh shit. They got that at the bottom of Walgreens?
Yes, nigga, who would have thought, bro? They got a vault downstairs.
Oh, shit.
I didn't get arrested though. He called my parents though, but it was like,
Yeah.
He was like intimidating the shit out of me, bro. It's
Nah,
kind of
man.
scary thinking
I
back
got-
on it and shit.
I got caught. I had lived behind a Kmart, and I used to go down there, and this was my trick. I was 10 years old, between 9 and 10 years old. I was really into baseball cards, and I would walk over in the summertime because my parents would leave us at home. Me and my older brother, we'd take care of ourselves, and I put on my swim trunks, and I go into Kmart. I start grabbing packs. And when I walk through the ladies' lingerie section, which you want to do anyways when you're that age, there's where the cameras cut off, and I would tuck them in the swim trunks, and the netting would catch them.
Oh, that's hard.
You feel
Swim
me?
Yo, you know, I used to
Yeah.
put rubber bands
Dude,
on the bottom of my pants and drop shit in the zipper.
No, but
stole shit in
I
a
got
lot of
bad
ways.
about it, and then I did the same shit where it's 110 degrees, North Carolina heat, down there, 110 degrees. I walk in wearing a winter coat because I had pockets on the inside.
you went in.
Because I graduated from those packs and I started stealing boxes of baseball cards. So I stuck one box of baseball
you
cards
was
in
snapping
one,
with the
and
baseball
I put
cards.
in one. I put a Primus CD. Stole a Primus. I was 10 years old. A Primus CD and the other one, and it still had one of those long rectangular like plastic things around.
shit.
You know, I stuck it in there, and I walked out of the store, jumped on my bike, and took off. And a dude run me down.
Damn, he
And
caught you.
grabbed me off my bike, and they pulled me in.
Damn.
But I never forget it because they took me in the room. You know that we got one of those at
fucking room,
Kmart.
man.
The fucking room. And just looking at me like, okay, show me what you got. And I took out the baseball cards and they're like, yep, that's what you get for, and then, or like, yeah, you can't steal that. And then immediately I started taking out the Primus CD and they're like, holy shit, you got to see it. I was like, well, I got away with that, man. But I didn't quite get it.
Yo, I had a similar one where I used to steal from this record shop when I was in like 7th or 8th grade. I used to steal from this record store in my neighborhood. They banned me for like 5 years. It's called High Park Records. Now I guess they like me and shit.
Okay.
But they banned me for like 5 years because I used to hang out all the time and just like listen to 45s and like records and shit. And I used to also steal many records like in the wintertime, you know what I'm saying, inside my big ass jacket. So I'll just put them in the jacket, pimp off. My nigga, it got warm outside. I was so bloodthirsty to the point where it got warm outside. I'm in a t-shirt. I put that bitch inside my t-shirt. What? It was a big box. I put a whole record, not a 45, like a whole 12-inch record in my t-shirt.
It's like, come on, man.
And I walked out.
We can see that.
And then I walked back in and it was like, you gonna bring the records back or what, bro? I was like, damn. And I went and got them and then they banned me for like at least 4 years. I came back like the next year. I'm like, man, y'all gonna let me back? They like, I spent 3 years and shit. They're like, no, it hasn't been 6 months, bro.
Man, it's funny, man. Everybody steals our music these days, but we used to do that too.
I have no opinion on like, I mean, not no opinion, but like streaming music and like just like free music, just being like from the era that I'm from. It's like, I don't even know when it was that niggas was making money on fucking record sales. You know what I mean? As long as I've been making music, I never made any money from selling a record. So it's like the whole like uproar that's happening in the industry about it and shit is like, I don't know, it's like foreign to me because I never made money from selling records.
You can make some dough. We made some money when we started on our first independent in the States, just because the deal is so much better. Because you got a 50-50 profit share. So after the record is paid off, then everything after you just split 50-50. There's money there, but you got to sell some records. But I remember getting, like that first check for like $30,000 from a royalty check, and we were like, "What the hell is this?"
That's lit. I never,
yeah,
I don't even know
and
shit about it.
But it changes as you.
Right.
It's like the bigger contract, the bigger label, the less money you make on selling a record.
That's also the thing. It's like I'm with like a major label, so it's like I'm like, yo, honestly, I don't really care about motherfucking. I don't care from Spotify
to me, the most honest way to make.
I just want people to hear this shit.
To me, the most honest way to make money doing this is playing a show for people. You get like people come out, they drop their hard-earned money. They want a show. You put out, I put out on stage. You fucking do your thing, and then you give them an experience. You bring people into your shit, and then that's something that's honest, And I don't know. To me, that feels like the work. It feels more like honest work because it's like sweat dripping.
I mean, selling music is like it seems honest to me too, but that's the way though. It's one thing I think about sometimes though. It's how like when I was a kid or a younger kid, I always like, I started listening to rap in like in kind of like a purist type of way, not 100%, but like I started listening to rap kind of late, so I was like listening to like all like 90s, like what I'm saying, golden age rap and shit, and like my perspective was always like I would never do like, I don't know, all the corporate shit and like all that. I just felt like it's all whack. All that industry shit is whack. And then like I come to be like where I am now, and like the majority of like the money that I get that I'm able to like even keep myself afloat with and do the shit with is like from corporations and shit. You know.
Well, we mean in anything, it's a small portion of people that hold the power.
Right.
I mean, in the life in
Passing
general.
it out.
And that's fucked, but that's just how it
Rationing
is.
it.
And not, in all industries, in all of politics, in all religion, it's like, It's like you have a few people that make up the rules, and in some ways you do have to. I mean, there's a difference between trying between like making it because you just wanted to be in the like go into that game, and there's another thing about playing the game,
Right.
you know, because we both have to play.
You
the
gotta
game.
play the game for sure.
Gotta play the
And
game.
that's what I see now, but it's like it's just sometimes it's funny to me when I think about like I mean it's kind of like when I was in like 5th grade. I think I said I will never do drugs. Like that's around the time when they hit you with this whole dare shit, you know?
Oh, yeah?
and
You
they're
got
like,
that shit?
yeah, my homie passed away and his name was Dare. So
Oh,
I
okay.
I thought these letters were really dope. I still do. I was just thinking about it yesterday. But like, you know, in 5th grade I was like, I'll never do drugs. They had me up in school with the like no drugs, alcohol shit. I'm like, man, I would never do that shit.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like 10. Then I turned 11 years old in 6th grade, and I'm in the back of the trucks. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
think-
like smoking the little pipe, and I'm like, yo, don't tell nobody. My homie like, I won't, man. I'm like, but I was like, I'm thinking about like a year before, I was like, I'll never do drugs. And then this shit came into my life, and I'm like, hey, it's popping. Like,
Oh yeah, man.
same way. I was like, I'll never do this corporate shit. And then I'm rapping and trying to like pay for shit, and they're like, yo, you want to do this commercial? I'm like,
Yeah. Well, man, as long as the music you're making is honest,
Right.
it don't matter.
Yeah, no,
You know,
I agree.
And there is that moment where, especially like for us, our growth was so through just like playing DIY shows in basements and laundromats and coffee shops all around the country.
shit sounds dope.
To that point where you're like, you have to have a booking agent so you can get into bigger place.
really did a
and
lot
then
of
you
that
have to
too,
have
though.
something even bigger, and then you have to do this so that you can keep growing. And at some point, you have because for us, like we respect, you know, that the DIY is what brought us to where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had to make strides that go outside of that DIY to
Oh,
grow
yeah,
what
for
we're
sure.
doing, so that we can reach more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the point
Like,
is that,
and then it's about just like getting your music out there to people, which is the most important thing. But for me, it's just like, and with all that, it's about once again playing shows and with streaming music. When albums started leaking, I remember when our first album we ever had leak was our second record. It was our first record
It
on
leaked before the record came
independent.
out?
It came out 3 months before the record dropped. And I was a week away from getting major knee surgery. I had ACL reconstruction in 2010. I had no money because Future Islands wasn't anything yet. It's like I was broke. My boss had cut me off because he found out that I was working on a torn ACL. I worked in concrete. Like I was helping move like 500-pound slabs of concrete with a torn ACL because it's the only way I can make a living.
Right.
So I cut off, get this knee surgery, and a week before the album leaks, and I'm like, well, I can't work for another month and a half because I'm about to get surgery, and now my album's out, and now I don't know what that does. And instead, I was terrified. You know, I was like, nobody's gonna buy the fucking record now.
Right.
Who knows if anyone's gonna buy it anyways?
Right.
You
Now
know,
they got
and,
it
and
already.
and I was at that point in my life too, where I was like, if this record doesn't hit, then I don't know if I can keep doing it because we've been going for 8 years, and I was like, what am I doing? Like I need something to happen. And in the end, we went out on the road, and people came out of the shows because the record leaked. You know what I mean?
leaked it?
I mean, writers leak shit. Writers leak shit because they get promos, and then it gets dropped. I mean, that's how shit gets leaked.
You feel like
Hey, we got some writers shaking their
Wait,
heads in here.
writers like-
that happens sometimes. That does happen. It is true.
Oh,
yeah.
you mean like
Okay,
oh,
they're
like
agreeing a
journalists.
little bit now. I mean, it's a sad thing. I mean, that's why they watermark shit. You know about that? How they watermark promos?
I don't
They
be
put a
knowing. I
watermark
feel
on
like
it.
rappers leak their own albums.
Well, that people do that shit too.
I
'cause
feel like people be leaked because every single rap album leaks, and I'm like, who the fuck really wanted to, hear that shit that bad before? I
Well, it
feel like
does-
rappers leak their own albums. And
Well, that's it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, it does also help it build hype.
because they leak it like 2 days before the shit finna drop and shit, and it's like
Well, that shit's silly, but when it's
they had
like
the streets on fire.
when it's like a month or two ahead,
that's
it
fucked
kind of
up
hurts.
though.
'cause
No,
you're like,
that's
man.
fucked up. That's crazy.
But I also believe too, like,
But it's also like maybe shit happened like for a reason. And
hell, what about
helps
used
and
records,
shit, like-
man? I buy so many. I'm a crazy vinyl head, and used records, like, you don't like those artists don't.
Right, dude,
get
they don't get any
anything.
more.
Yeah.
Right, they can't. I'm
That's
thinking
kinda
about that. They
crazy.
can't make that is kind of
Did you
crazy.
hear about that shit where
actually.
they were gonna they were talking about whether or not you could resell digital files? Do you guys know
resell
anything
like
about that?
something that's
It was
up
like, I
online.
bought
Like,
this
if,
digitally.
that's crazy.
I think I want to sell it used.
Oh no,
For like I was like, oh, that shit's scary.
that is next up.
That shit's scary though.
I'm out here trying to get money off these motherfucking suits and
You think you could steal
all that
somebody's? You could steal somebody's digital
steal
files off their
somebody's
computer
iTunes
and then resell it.
sell that shit. That's a crazy lick. My niggas be out here stealing MacBooks and shit. They should be stealing hard drives.
Staring at the sea, all the glitter is gold. Don't believe what you've been told. People lie, people love, people go. But beauty lies in every soul.
That shit's freaky though. People hit me up on iCloud like they find, since my iCloud happens to be like kind of easy to figure out and shit. So kids just like find my shit out and just randomly like
Like,
FaceTime
in your neighborhood?
me. No, just
okay.
I don't know where the fuck they be at. They be on FaceTime and they just call me like, "Yo, Vic." I'm always like, "What up?" I'm like, if you made, you know what I'm saying? If you did like, if you tried to figure it out and you made it this far and just like were able to contact me completely without my knowledge, like maybe something good will come to me from this. Like,
Hey man, you make those kids' days.
I be rapping with them sometimes. They're always
cool.
rappers, and then so I'm like, yo, rap something, and then I told them rap something off the beat on my phone, so they were all off beat and shit.
I gotta ask you a fucked up question.
What's that?
You ever stole a concept or a line off of one of these young rappers who breaks into your iCloud?
No.
I was like,
I wish they
like,
came
"Damn,
with
that's a good
something dope
line,
enough for me to
man."
grab. No, that's why I keep answering it, because I'm like, maybe somebody would like hit me up that's like really dope.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you know, I can like benefit from it and shit. But usually it's just kind of like fun until I'm done with it and I got to turn them off and shit.
That's cool, man.
I feel like I had something else that I stole that was like prominent that I wanted to say something about, but maybe not. But I went to church today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I've never been to a black church before, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do church?
No, I don't.
You
but-
religious at all?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know. I
I'm
didn't
not
like
either.
answer the shit in church.
Yeah.
I went to church with my parents like when I was a kid, like
Yeah.
kind of regularly, but I didn't have any intention of going to church today. But like my girl just kind of like dragged me in because her friend was getting married at the end of the church.
Okay.
And then when she was like, you know, I know you don't want to hear this, but I really think you should come into church today. It might do you some good. I was just like, the first thought that went through my mind, I was like, fuck that. No, I'm not. I was like, no, I'm.
That would have been my first thought.
I was like, no, I'm not going to church. And like in the eyes, if there is God, like in the eyes of God, like I'm a motherfucking like rebel nigga. I don't go to church. I don't do this, like whatever. But then I was like, maybe like I could come up off going to church, like in karma
Oh
and
man,
shit.
don't be thinking like that.
I mean, like in
Oh,
a
in
karma,
karma.
way,
In karma,
Not
okay.
like come up like rob the pastor or some shit.
Yeah. I didn't know if you
Yeah.
were trying to like you're like I'm gonna get that Kirk Franklin crowd, man. I'm trying to get that
No,
Kirk
that's
Franklin
crazy.
crowd on my side.
I wasn't thinking like
Dude,
a
there's a lot of money.
businessman.
Dude, when I was 14, I thought about I was like, how am I gonna make some money? Oh, maybe I'll go into televangelism. I could do that.
Yo,
like, I can yell at
you were
motherfuckers and make
lit
some
for
money.
that.
My brother got scared. He told me recently. He was like, and I kind of told people that for like 6 months as a joke. I mean, I was a kid just smoking weed, so I was like, dude, I'm thinking about doing this thing. So my brother told me recently, he's like, you remember when you were on that weird televangelism kick? Like, I was kind of worried about you.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't want, and I was like, man, I was just fucking around, dude. I was like, oh, he's like, you
Yo.
were? And I was like, yeah, I was just kidding. He's like, man, you had me freaked out back then.
You were different, bro.
Was it?
You were 14 talking about televangelism. I've never
Man.
even heard that term until you just said it. Like,
Dude, those guys are crazy. Sometimes I'll sit at home like 3 a.m. and watch some of those guys.
oh
'cause
yeah,
they're
they're
wild.
fucking wild. Did you ever see this? It's this one dude with this red cloth. They be selling this shit on BT in the mornings, like early. They be having these weird black dudes that like sell shit in the name of God. He's like, God wants you to buy this cloth.
Oh, that shit's
You buy
weird.
this cloth, God
Those
will
guys have the
bless
tightest
you.
suits though.
They be going crazy. My pops did some televangelist. Well,
Oh, yeah?
actually, no. It was just, it kind of reminded me of what you were saying. He told me like, cause my dad's from, he's from Africa. He's from Ghana.
Oh, okay,
and
cool. I didn't know
so
that.
he said when he was a kid, like he's super smart. He's like a PhD and shit. So he left school. He was at this boarding school for high school. I think like his senior year, he just knew everything like 3 months in advance to like the final tests. So he just left and joined the circus. And what they did was like they would stand behind these cloths and like convince people that they were ghosts. I guess in Africa they go for that shit. If you stand behind
In
a
the
cloth
circus.
and be like, woo.
That's part of the
like,
circus, or that was part of the church?
I don't know what the fuck an African circus is.
What was the circus? What did he do in the circus?
That's what he was doing
that's
in
what he
the
was doing in
circus.
the circus, okay.
He was standing behind the cloth and convincing
Wow.
people he was like spirits and
That's
shit.
pretty tight. That's pretty tight.
I don't know what's to him for that shit. Come to think about it.
Oh man. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was gonna be an ad man for a second too when I was 15.
Like an ad agency guy?
Yeah, I was like, maybe I could
Like
like this corner
Mad Men?
office. Yeah, I want to be a little league baseball coach. Have
It
like a
was
little family.
enterprising, bro. When I was 15, I wanted to be a skateboarder.
Hell yeah.
Or be high right then. Or like,
Well, my dream was crushed at 13. I was gonna be a major league shortstop, and then that got crushed.
what happened?
Didn't make the team, man.
Oh, damn.
Assholes. I was
Man.
good too. I was about the same
You was
weight I
probably
am
pissing
now, but
off
I
the
was about
coach.
I was about a foot shorter.
The coach probably ain't like you. My coach ain't like me for shit.
You know that dance I do though on stage, that side step back and forth.
That's
That's
some,
grounding. Yeah, that's
Oh,
grounding.
that's dope.
Grounders, man.
Damn,
That's
that
cool, man.
is.
You know, and I do that big punch, man. That's throwing out a
Do
man
you
from
ever do the
center.
whip dance?
The what? Oh, you mean that body whip? Oh,
shit.
that whip? Is that one of my dances?
No. It's a whip dance. It's like some current like black Twitter shit.
No, do you know about the SpongeBob? I think that party
No.
passed a couple years ago. Look up videos of that's some Baltimore. That's some Baltimore high school shit that came out a couple years
Is that
ago.
like Baltimore club shit or what's
It's
that
this
shit?
weird. It's this weird dance where you kind of like hop over to this foot, and then
I'm
like
just picturing
while this
you
foot
as your finger
goes
right now.
away. It doesn't make any
Your
sense. But
finger kinda
the
jumps like
dudes,
you be jumping.
The dudes end up starting doing it so fast that
Yeah.
you don't even see their legs, and they just are floating above the ground back and forth.
And they call it
It's crazy. They start off real slow, and then they just start going. They do crazy stuff.
Chicago has this shit
Yeah.
called juke music. That's kind of
Yeah,
like
juke,
they
yeah,
got
yeah.
like a similar thing in
Some
Baltimore and
amazing
shit, and they
dances
kind of
on
dance
that.
like that.
Yeah, totally.
Like
Yeah, Beatmore's got an awesome scene for all kinds of things, man. It's a beautiful city for
all I know
arts.
about Baltimore is the Wire shit. Like
Oh,
how
yeah,
they talk on the Wire.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be real ghetto too, right?
I mean, it's tough.
Right.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell when I drive by, and it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the hood.
Is it-
That's the hood. That's the hood. I like when I can tell where the hood is at, though, man, because in Chicago, it's like, I know when I'm in the hood, like, I gotta, like, kind of, like, sometimes consciously enter the hood, you know, and then consciously exit the hood.
Yeah.
I don't like it when I'm in places where it's like you are in a nice neighborhood, one block, and then, like, you take a step to the side and
That's Baltimore.
ducking bullets and shit. I can't feel that, man.
Baltimore, they say it's a 3-block city. Because you
That's
wake up,
crazy,
you wake up
man.
and you're in a nice place. You walk 3 blocks, it's kind of rough. You walk 3 blocks, people are sipping fucking cocktails on a sunny porch, and you walk 3 blocks, and it's like boarded up
Popping
houses.
again. Where you from originally?
And to me, I grew up in a small town in North Carolina, very different than Baltimore. Just like nice place out by the water, you know. Grew up in a farming community, just with real people. You know, I think that really is why I am the way I am. It's funny because I lived in one town, but I went to school in the town next door, even though I lived like in the center of the other city. So I lived in the city of about 15,000, but I went to school because my parents worked in a town of 3,000. And so the people in the city that I actually lived in looked down on me, the kids, because I was from this smaller, poor community. And that really affected the way I thought about things. Just like, well, what the fuck is the difference? Like, well, first of all, you're a kid. You're like, you look down on me because I'm from Newport. Like, I chill in Newport. My friends are from Newport. And we don't have as much money as you or whatever. But also my father was like, he's an attorney. So he was like the one attorney in this small town. But he's like the most, I remember asking my dad once if he was a good attorney, and he said, I'm an honest one.
Oh, wow.
And I realized that later, because he told him, as the years went by, I'd just be like, it's such a fucked up system, like the court systems.
Court system is
and how it's just like favor of judges and all this shit. There's a lot of politics and all that shit, man.
Every time I'm in court, like, I haven't had to go to court for a while, like, luckily, but when I was in court more often, I would just be so mad about the fact that like we all had to stand and like pay this respect to this random fucking dude and
Who's
like
gonna judge you?
in a bullshit suit. I'm like, why does he have the right to judge me? Like, who made him better than me? Like,
Yeah. Well, the voters of
do
whoever
voters
they are.
vote in these judges?
Well, I
feel
guess you have. I guess there's different levels. The local judges are definitely voted in
So
by.
like black people don't really vote and shit, you know? They don't. A lot of the time, and
I don't vote either.
we're just kind of voted by like, or just
shouldn't
ruled
say
by
that.
other people. I voted for Obama. That was the
That's
only
true.
vote that I did.
I voted for Obama, had to, and I voted against. Oh yeah, and I voted against Bush, but that did no good in the end.
Bush was
that was the
turned
worst
up,
vote
and now
ever. is
Donald
voting
Trump.
for John Kerry.
Yo, it's like
Like,
it's like
not really
crazy because
voting.
like on two ends of the spectrum, it's like you either have somebody who's just like just so cocky and arrogant and stupid like George Bush. I mean, not 100% stupid. Or you have like Obama who it's like we wanted to love and hope and shit, but then he wasn't in a position or of the like mindset and balls to like really just push buttons
through.
and like, you know, say fuck
Yeah,
it.
like
Like
he's
George Bush
pushing
was
now.
kind of like, I don't give a fuck about what the fuck
About
y'all
anybody.
talking about. Donald Trump out here talking about he'll beat up El Chapo.
What the fuck
And
is
he's
that,
leading
dude,
the
man?
Republican shit.
Dude,
it's like
that's fucked up.
it's like, damn, man. I was pressed at Obama for some time. I was like, I know that they're not, you know, giving you like any wiggle room.
Yeah.
Like they own his ass.
I feel like
but
he's
I'm-
pushing now.
Is he pushing
fuck-
more now?
I feel like he's kind of like, well, fuck y'all. If you're not gonna do this, I'm just gonna do it.
That's what he's
finally
gotta
doing it.
be like. He's in his second motherfucking term. Like he about to be out of here now though.
Yeah.
His pushing time, I feel like, was probably a while ago.
They just jammed him up, man.
They
didn't
jammed
give
him
a
up
chance,
though.
Yeah.
He went super gray. Like that shit's gotta be mad stressful. You think he knows about aliens and shit?
Yeah. He knows.
You
about
think he
aliens.
definitely knows about
Yeah, he knows
aliens?
about aliens.
That's
That's why.
That's just crazy.
I bet he met an alien.
You think he did for real?
I think so.
Yo,
I think probably
I wonder
so.
what Obama. He was
Have
probably
you been in
talking
the
real
Denver
slow.
airport? Have you been in the Denver airport?
Yeah, I think so. Most likely.
That place is crazy, man. Next time you're in there, check it out. It's insane.
So you're
There's all kinds of weird
outer
shit in there.
space?
Apparently,
Right.
apparently
You know,
it's
probably
Noah's Ark in the bottom of there. Apparently, in the bottom of the Denver airport, they got 2 of every animal in the world.
And they got one of those vaults that's underneath
Yeah,
the
bro.
Walgreens where they take kids.
Read
when
up
they
on your
steal.
conspiracy theories, bro.
Yo, just like how they had that thing underneath the Denver airport in this like main train station in Chicago, they have this room like underneath Walgreens where they take kids when they catch them doing bad shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I actually got on probation one time because I was like, I didn't know that it was a state building, so there was state police were the security guards in this building, and then like we were like doing some bullshit like throwing paper in a trash can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Dumb
saying?
shit.
And the
Like, or-
security guard gets all mad
that
and he's
means
like
anything.
runs up on us and he's like la 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 all extra and shit. And I'm like I'm just gonna leave. So I just like turned on him and then he's like, "You're coming with me." Grabbed me and shit and just starts walking towards the elevator. I'm just like, I just spunt off his ass and dipped, ran up the escalator. Then I got sacked by this big redhead nigga because I'm thinking these are security
yeah.
guards. They're really state police.
Oh shit.
He sacked me, started flipping my little ass, and then I got on probation and shit. But another one of my friends, they took him up there, and the dude started showing him photos of people getting raped in jail and said, "This is what's you're gonna be."
Oh, they scared
On that
straight.
note, that's it.
We've been up since Friday, getting drunk and popping still. Magic stick all on that ass, bitch. I'm David Copperfield. You a fan, don't it blow you that this shit just hot as hell? I'm with Skrillex and we chillin', but we still ain't got no chill. No chill, no chill, no chill, no chill. For real. No chill, no chill, no chill, no chill. For real. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I was born ready.
Okay, this is Michael Azarad, editor-in-chief of the Talkhouse, and that's it for this edition of the Talkhouse Music Podcast. Thanks to Talkhouse Music producer-engineer Elia Einhorn.
Yeah. Woo! Get it. Get it.
You can subscribe to Talkhouse Music Podcast at iTunes or visit our SoundCloud page. And for lots of great writing about music by lots of great musicians, by all means visit thetalkhouse.com/music.
Yo, what's up? This is Vic Mensa. You're listening to the Talk House Music Podcast.
Damn, first time.
I made it happen with that one, right?
That
It
was
just
good, man. Oh, man. Hey, yo, this is Sam Heron from Future Islands, and you're listening to the Talk House Music Podcast.